Not the double duelist that I was expecting, but we get CNED. So we get like half of what we wanted. We have CNED on Sage instead of the double duelist that I was thinking. We get the Cypher coming out. Sure, I mean fundamentally the comp works well. I'm just a little bit disappointed that we didn't see the double duelist that I feel like makes the most sense with this team. But CNED's played a lot of Raze. He was on Ascend when CNED's played a lot of Sage. He was on Ascend when they were doing Sage every time on Bind.
But I think especially on Split, so much you can do with that around mid control. There's
up against the double duelist, and honestly, the chamber against the double duelist is pretty good. And a lot of the time in the past, Navi have been decent at working out where to put the trips for the double duelist. So.
Starting on the defensive side, realistically, the second map being Lotus.
On the chamber, on the Cypher. Do you know what? I called out the caster on Pacific for doing that, and then I've done it like what 6 hours later.
That double duelist, super explosive comp, and I do really like this
on
comp.
The Cypher.
A lot of teams have been running it recently, but ultimately Navi bringing in Zipan on that Raze, I can't bet against it.
At the end of the day, you're now coming into this server probably hoping to out-duel a CNED. Instead, you've got Zipan go kill on the other side, and I think good luck to you up against this man if he's anything like he used to be back in the good old days.
I mean, you guys are setting some really high expectations for the Raze.
The only man who could stop him was the Shao stopper.
I like chamber too much. I think that's actually what it is.
You can't beat him, join him.
I just want
every
pick to be chamber.
We're going to be heading into the first game of today. We have Navi up against Koi, battling it out on Split. So let's head over to our casters, Dez and Ender.
Thank you very much, Ginny, and I really feel for you having to deal with both Tom and Mitch at the same time on the
tough,
desk.
Man.
That is a trial by fire, but you're doing a brilliant job. We've got a real fun game coming up. Koi, yesterday we saw battle their way through, really good series. This is horrible. It's like playing a video game where you beat the first boss. You're like, yeah, I've done it. And then the boss gets back to full life, gets double the number of health bars, and you've got to go all over again because now you're coming up against Navi. No easy feats.
Although, in Koi's case, this is like that boss they faced right at level 1 that turns out to be the final boss as well. Yep. But back at level 1, they beat it, right? They had that insane series all the way back in our Super Week to kick things off. They got the 2-0 with that 20-18 match on Lotus. And I'll tell you what, we're guaranteed to have a little rematch of Lotus here in map number 2, but first we got to jump into Split.
Ender, do you taste that?
Alright, I'm getting involved with this one just before it starts. We've got Melly getting involved. Thank you so much for the gifted, Melly. Appreciate you. And we have Eri Theron, 22. Welcome into the Slug Club. Thank you for that, Melly. Appreciate you. Okay, Navi on... That's fast. What the hell? Navi on the defense. Koi on the attack. Wolf and Status one off with an instant kill towards here. And do they expect this guy up here? It's double duelist, so they kind of should.
The spike will surely be planted. As a matter of fact, Koi have 2 players to watch. They're really concerned about a flank coming in.
Except the fact they've got to worry about it's the massive players now start building
lower
up
the volume.
Yeah,
I can lower this slightly.
The conglomerate is here. They're ready to come back and take what was once theirs. And they're looking here, ready to try and take one down. It's Trex the first one.
Trex really good insult to the dogs on that one. Oh my goodness. Wait. Oh, the molly went in at the most perfect timing from Shados. The call was to go in. He's kind of isolated. The molly went down and they didn't want to all send it through. So that was just a really good molly from Shados there that kind of messed up the timing. And CNED was just out in the open on his own. So yeah, shout out to Shados. The timing on that molly was probably the most perfect you can get. And yeah, I mean, we did it. Fast kill over towards Angel, going down as easy as this. That was nice.
It didn't matter. Wolfen just on site itself, finding himself a 3K.
Upset the no CNED jet. Yeah, a little bit.
A
little bit.
Yeah, what I love is the pace from that first round.
I got the Zipan raise. I got like 50% of what I wanted, so it's can't be too upset.
You can do nothing about it. It echoes some of that.
They're just probably just not fans of the double duelist comp, I imagine.
They've got the tools to do it. It's just about realizing that's the kind of game Koi want to play.
Yeah, I'm glad you talk about the tools here, because obviously when you're rocking both the Cypher and the Sage, that's a ton of sort of flood denial. And you know, eco round like this, you're not going to be seeing much, but don't be surprised to see this Sage playing towards B heaven.
It's a good investment in this one.
Maybe even paired up with
Camera retake for.
It's really
well, that's nice. Get a good amount of info.
When
They spot everyone but the Viper. camper, so they have to watch out for middle. Most likely it's a mid lane.
Because there's not util for Navi to fight back with.
Pushing their way through though and doing so quite aggressively. Found one, found two. Trex and Wolf and kicking things off on that double duelist. And Navi now the ones are going to have to scramble. Once again, 2-3 players starting to all square up on the same position to try and push back in. Two have now gone in towards Heaven. So wary of potential backstab from mid though here. No one's there, of course, as we can see. We have that beautiful mini-map to be able to see what's going down. But everyone else is sat on site here. It's a bit too much to try and retake.
Yeah, go. Nice shot there out of Zipan on the raise. But yeah, hard to imagine they're going to be doing much. There's an instant swing ready to go from Stark, so whenever any contact is found, actually it's not quite there, but Trex is going to kill everyone, so no
Kind of nice for
problem.
Trex to stack up here, some good ults to have.
A good idea of the prep work Koi have done coming
Right,
into this map.
nice and clean.
Heavy,
They have one person that had
focus
a
put on walking
pistol
that
in terms of a
potential lane
ghost,
flank
and they can
deep
easily
into
go
the round,
down,
of course, because
and they
are
keep all
running
of their guns
Vipers
into
plus
this
something
one,
like
and
the
Starkster
Cypher.
will just
They
buy a
don't have that
rifle,
curling
and this is a
info to watch
legit
their
buy right
backside,
now.
so they're going to need
It's a
some
real good
eyeballs
buy.
on that one.
I'll keep a close eye on it. Technical
Of
pause
course.
coming in here for a quick second. We shall
Of
not start
course.
a podcast.
I love this. No, this is the exact right time. Right before a rifle round. And look, Navi, in classic Navi fashion, are playing some funky stuff here, right? You know, not every team is playing the Sages these days, but primarily it's the Fade. Very rare you see an actual info initiator on this map. The Sky is about as much active info gathering that you're going to see on most maps, although they actually did play it, I believe, once before, all the way back last year. Not paired up with the Raze or anything like this, but basically the idea
power
behind
up
this
tech
Fade is
balls,
on defense.
yeah.
I think you can
The timing
see
of
it
that was
where
great.
it's like the classic Raze Fade stuff. They're sort of holding hands, which we have seen from them these first two rounds, where they look to combo that utility. But I also think the Fade might end up being used as
Do I feel like CNED would be a fine chamber? Yes, but honestly, during chamber meta, he kind of fell off a little bit.
Wait 20
during
more, you're
that.
haunting again, then Prowler. You can get
I'll still kind of go up there and feel
consistent
like I've
information
never
around mid or
seen
scouting out for potential lurks
I've never
over
seen
towards the A side.
CNED
So it really depends how they're
be the
using
same
the
as
Fade. Are
what
they
he
using
was before
Prowlers
the
early
jet. No.
before the plant actually goes down, or
I've
in
seen
the
him be really
retake,
good,
that
but in
Prowler
terms
can
of
be really
how
effective
good
at
he
clearing
was
areas
back then,
out,
like I was out
Prowler
here being
towards
like
the
he's the
side,
best jet
or
in the
even,
world, pretty
elbow
much,
when
like
they're
one
playing
of.
screens.
It's breaking up those rechargeables. The
And then
moment you see
I don't
teams
think
off the ridge
I
straight
don't think
away,
most
140
people
with
would
1 minute, another
say
sometimes
he's
20 if they find themselves in
in
time,
the
right?
top 3
You're there
these
saying
days.
break it down to 20 second
So I
blocks
think
instead
like
of
that.
rotating through it.
Yeah, because effectively,
there's
like,
ton-
if players are walking up through mid,
I think
it's
there's
going to
chance
take them about
to,
20 seconds before they're
prove
running into
himself
something.
again.
And Navi have a lot of different ways they can move around their setup. I think you could see early Sage walls over towards the A side. I'm never a huge fan of like the insta wall, but if you're looking to farm orbs, and also that wall does shut down any sort of fast lurk attempts from the enemy team. That's usually what the sort of isolated player on attack is going to be looking for. But at the same time, you can just sort of gather up around the heavens and look to pair not just the raised paint
Yeah,
shells
see
with
what you're all saying?
potentially those
This
Sage
guy,
slows
even
too.
Bacon
Now,
said it,
on
this
the
guy
opposite
was
side, Koi
unplayable.
rocking the double duelist.
Like if
They
he
have
got
a
an
lot
op,
of dives.
you would
They
just
actually
avoid
have the
him.
ability to
I mean,
get
that was
past
the
a
literal
lot of
game
those,
plan from
those
100
pieces
Thieves to
trying
beat them on
keep
Breeze.
trapped inside a main,
Just
and that's
avoid
where
them.
our eyes are gonna have
'Cause
to
that was
be
just the
between
easiest thing
Wolfen
to
and
do.
Trex and how effective they are entering the site, because there's not always going to be able to be players coming in straight behind.
I'll still wait for this technical pause to play out here, so just bear with us. We'll feed you information as it comes into us. One thing I do want to take this opportunity to thank you for, Ender, is taking shoes off when we cast together.
Yeah.
There is quite a divide in height between us. I feel like a dwarf.
Murky99 with the 5 months and the Prime. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for that, dude. Appreciate your support. Thanks for the 5 months. Thanks for using your Prime on me.
Bring me down just a little bit.
Murky99.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy to help you out.
Hello,
Also,
mate.
to sort of carry through some lore.
Who do I have
If you
for
were
Lev
watching the
C9?
cast
Dude, I don't
yesterday,
even
you'll
know where to
we were
put Lev.
talking a lot about
They
how
started off
first
looking
thing
horrendous in that
everyone's arriving
first game, and then they did an
Analyzing is
insta
here.
bounce back,
Here in
looked
Berlin,
like pretty good.
apparently there's a lioness on the loose that
So
got
yeah,
out of the zoo.
honestly,
So keep your
I could
eyes
see
out.
either.
If you're here in the Coliseum, you'll be
from
safe.
one of the makeup artists, it wasn't actually the zoo, it was a private owner.
It was a private. You can own.
That's
a
what
lion?
I said. I was like, what kind of maniac like owns a lion?
Yeah, I thought that was like specifically
What the hell are they
a
talking
plot
about?
point in The Hangover with Floyd Merriweather, but that's just a real thing now? I thought that was like weird, film.
Crowd noise while watching the Pacific
I just
games?
had to
Not
relay
really.
I did get distracted
I've
there
never
for a second.
been able to hear it too much.
Audio is the issue. 2 minutes will be the ETA, and then we had to get back into things. So bear with us 2 minutes. We'll make him talking about these lions. Now, I do want to talk. We can talk about Mats, but I want to talk about Mitch and his seemingly unbelievable obsession. That
He has a
befriend
mane
lion.
almost like a lion.
He isn't too far off. Is that why he thinks he's my friend? When he get down on all fours and start trying to growl at it?
Well, I don't
Could
know.
you
I've
imagine?
never really seen Mitch later in the day, but
Yeah.
We're usually casting
He
the
was
first
straight in
series.
there saying, guys, look,
During
there's a line,
tech
but
pauses,
I think
no,
it'll be
no
fresh
one
today.
should be speaking.
Yeah, that's
Unless they're trying to
bold.
like solve
Yeah.
an issue.
I
And
heard
the
he was
team
going to
here-
bring a steak out or
the team
something.
here were like, we encourage this, but can we do it on Monday once we're done with LCQ?
Or hear me out, if he does it today, then we might be, you know, casting a few more games.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, no, Mitch, go ahead. Go and do it today, my man. Like, get in there. We're all in.
We've
crazy,
seen it
Mitch,
better
go
than
crazy.
Kang at his
Anyways,
peak.
these maps are interesting.
I think it was probably like a similar level where everyone was
We actually
just
have the
like,
exact same
you
map
feared
select.
playing
Effectively,
against
these
him.
three maps were the ones
It's actually a
that
pretty
all the
good
way back
comparison in terms of
in
like the
week
same,
one were selected a little bit backwards. It
the
was
same
Set first,
fear.
then Lotus. That
Very
Lotus
similar to how
was
it is,
the
yeah.
absurd 20-18 match between. I don't know if anyone can actually hear that on the
I don't
stream.
know if it's local or not.
I have to.
Champ starts
all
on the
I'm
6th of
hearing is
August.
someone continually saying "be quiet" like in the game audio.
The first it was like, hey, then
think
it was
it's
like, no,
Killjoy.
and then it was like, be quiet.
Yeah.
As you were talking.
I
was
really
just
hope
like,
she's saying
end
it
of be
for real.
quiet.
Can you hear that? Please communicate to us with a smiley face, a yes
Stream
or
could
no.
not hear that. You just sound
okay.
like a nut job now, basically.
You just sound absolutely mental. Well, we
Oh,
can
very
narrate
good.
it.
We're going back into things. Just in the fist
Alright,
bumps, and that
nice
is
timing
the
on this.
esports sign for things are okay and they are
Nice
cracking
timing.
on. So,
Will
then
the
we
summaries
go
come
to
back
round
for
three.
champions?
In case you missed
Maybe,
things, Koi
maybe
won
some of the
first
games.
two.
Probably not at the beginning,
bit of
but maybe
pace in
for the
round
more
one,
important
roll into a
games.
pretty comfortable round two.
Like
This
maybe
is where it
once
starts
groups
to
are done
manifest that
because it
first
takes
home
up a
round
little bit
for
of time.
Navi.
And this is the setup I was more expecting. So Cypher, a lot of the time, playing a little bit more of a deeper kill trap setup towards A. Sage Rays playing together around mid. Fade a little bit deep there, back screens, but that is
Alright,
A-okay.
first buy round coming in
Now,
for
if you
Navi.
are not familiar with the way
And
Angel likes to
we
play the
mentioned
game,
this
he plays
earlier, but
real
I'll quickly
aggressive
mention it as
on
well.
defense. So don't
It's a
be
very
surprised to see
good
him
bonus.
fighting
Wolfen is
aggressively,
one away,
Mirage
so if
using
they
that
wanted to
fake
get this orb, they
teleport
can,
just
but it
to
doesn't make
make sure
too much
Wolfen's
sense
clearing
unless
that
he wants to
close
throw the gun
when he goes
over and
on
they
in.
have the
But power
backup gun.
Raze, Sage
So I
is
don't think
that
it's heavy priority on it.
Koi should not be able to get out of this choke point.
More just makes
on the
sense for
entry,
Trex to just try and get this.
That he likes to try and
Really
mix it
trying to
up
bait in
sometimes.
something for
So
that. We
they
have
did
a
put the
wall
ball
over
down
towards
in mid
middle
at
that's going to get
120, so
discovered
that
in
will
a
be
little
breaking
bit.
around 40
And
seconds,
over towards A, we're
which
kind of just
does,
getting
put
constant
the time
info
pressure on any sort of
for
split
this
hit into the site.
wall and
I like
smoke.
that CNED is delaying it just a little bit, but if Koi want to do something, they're going to have to activate this lurk a little bit more, you think, from Shados. He has the orb put up on a ramp, you can see, and that instantly pulls the Prowler out. So basically you have both the information of Cypher and of Xiao's Fade, just trying to scout out and find where that lurker is.
Just
But in
waiting
5
for this
seconds,
one
it's about to go
to
crazy
break.
when this wall busts.
40 seconds on that instant burst over towards B. Honestly, that kill had to go down like that. That's a really good trade. They have a small window that he might have just owned with that satchel. Missed Joel. What? Boss?
Oh, poor comms there. The smoke comes in about a second and a half too late. Just running across the opening. Trex has a nice position up in rafters and potential pinch in mid. He goes a bit early, but now
Oh
it
my
all
God.
comes down to Shados. Can they even get a plant down? There's only 10 seconds left.
In such a great spot where he finds one.
Yeah, and this guy's gonna kill the guy flying. Well, that one fell apart pretty fast. That one really fell apart pretty fast. Stoxo had to be a little bit more patient for the smoke and just kind of risked it and got punished. That's it, basically. And honestly, I think if that kill doesn't go down, I think this might be a different round.
One by one, they just got domed up.
So yeah, I mean, he had to wait. There was so much time
You
here,
can see
so.
the star being placed on the ground immediately after, but good awareness from Zipan to go for the hunt, knowing that if you pull off the spike there to fight him, there's no time to actually put the spike down.
Yeah, they knew that everything was riding on that flank coming in, and with that player held down by one, the rest
Wolfen has his knives, decides to buy into this one.
Now we get the proper full round though for both teams.
In terms of this, they killed enough that it
bonus.
is a swing round,
things get a
at
little
least.
high.
So
They're
there's
just
that.
full contacting into mid, a little bit bolder than I like to see. And no real opportunity to put down the wall either. We'll probably have to be a little bit deeper, although actually getting the resmoke from Angel allows them to cross over. Holding hand in hand together. CNED has a tiny little pixel he can
Holding
play with.
heavy over
Manuel
towards
was to
top
jump
mid
up,
and
but
just
looks
late
like the
wall, but
protocol
they
is
hear
around
that.
115,
It's kind of hoping that
120,
they
trying to
disappeared from
place
mid
down
for
the
that
wall.
one, but
This
they at
time,
least get the
however,
info
because
that
there
they're
are
here.
players in mid-range to
All
shoot
get
immediately,
shredded.
they can bust it
We
down.
still
It
have,
is worth noting that after
we
the
still have
changes to, you know,
Razor's
having one less
util.
magazine,
Also
or
worth noting
rifles
that
having one less magazine,
CNED's
that
just
Sage
used
wall,
everything,
not
so he can
breaking
kind of be more
instantly
like a
does
duelist
take
now a
up
little bit, take
lot
some more
and
duels.
can be meaningful in these drawn-out
We have a
rounds. We've
full
already
pass
put
and
some
gamble
bullets
stack
into
with the
Smoke,
information
trying
that
to
they
spam
got
kill.
over towards B. They've pushed B main, they see that this one's clear, and honestly as we can see, there's probably like a 15-second window where an A hit would be incredible right now, but obviously Koi don't know, but we are getting kind of low. They're really
that flank.
Oh boy.
We're so concerned about
Okay, that's
this
good
time.
information.
It
That's the insta hit
absolutely
because
punishes them.
yeah, they
Angel
need
not
to
gonna
just go
commit, but
now.
now quite have to heat up.
Still,
Only 30
A site's a little
seconds,
bit
not
weak.
much
One kill
time.
trip over
It's still
towards
trips
her.
they gotta work through.
They got to know what's going on here, though, as well. Angel's got to get moving if he wants to try and have any effect on this push coming in. For now, site looks to be mostly clear. They've got the jet all the way forward. Needs the second, but can't find it. CNED with the shutdown makes a very flimsy execute. And there's nothing left with only the Sky left standing. Will be able to get the spike down for some brownie points. But that really is about all.
He's getting everything.
Teva
Teva.
going to find their second in a row.
No way.
Okay.
How does Starzo get one there? There was so much util put onto him.
Okay, nice to them.
More than that, Shao with the close,
Gonna
but
say,
yeah.
There's everything thrown at him. The fact he managed to get
You
one
gotta
is
win
pretty
those.
good.
Starzo,
Navi survived this
always
round.
manages to do something a
Money
little bit absurd.
helps a lot there with 3 of them surviving as well.
And really this round,
And yeah, I like this. They were very proactive at like the 50-second mark.
It felt like a couple of times
Very
now Koi
proactive.
are sort of
Stack over towards
supercharging
B.
into
They
the
need
site.
to
I
get
think sometimes
information
can
because
happen
obviously
when you are
A
playing the
was going to
double dive,
get
the
pretty
double
rough.
comp is that you're so
And they
far
didn't
ahead of
actually
the
have
team
any
that
info
you
over
just have
towards
to keep
A.
going.
So this
In
was
a
nice.
way,
It was
it's
super
hard to reset,
proactive.
especially because they'd already lost
It's a good
which
sign.
was their sort of defaulted smokes. Yeah, you have the Viper, but the way you're setting up the wall and the orb is for the lurk usually. Now it's actually going towards B, which
Got a lot of
gives some
different
more
Cypher
options, right?
setups at the moment.
Contact out
Camera
onto
keeps
the
in
site, but
switching.
You know Angel's going to be looking to play in front of that one.
It's a good point you make as well with the 2 duelists wanting to ultimately be very mobility-based.
Prowler early on doesn't hit anyone. With that information, they rotate.
But Heaven is really the great exposure on the A site as well. Makes it very risky to go pushing on through without much cover from behind. So it does become a fine frags, create space that way. Otherwise, things start to look fragile, as Navi are now starting to prove.
100%. You can see that's the Viper orb. A little bit different, but this one allows you to... The similar setup to like double Cypher cages where it blocks off both
Nice
ramp
timing.
and
Everyone
base.
crosses on
Now
this.
they have ramp control.
Seekers going in, straight up bust. It's a good amount of people here. We've about to have 3 people draw over towards Heaven with 1 person on site. I think he has a cage for himself as well.
But again, now they're the ones that are slightly different.
Yeah, one-way cage. Doesn't really work for that angle though.
So it gets too deep on side,
Ooh,
sees one,
man,
but
Trex
Trex
took a
wins
dink.
out the gunfight. That's a pretty critical one to win, as it now opens up for his team to move forward. But Shao
It's a
explodes.
bold
some
move
screens,
by
finds
Shao,
one
but
for
he
himself.
gets rewarded
That's
for
it.
it.
Unlocked another, and sight has been conceded to Koi.
No smoke out into screen.
See how they want to
Shao gonna be
handle
doing
this.
A little bit of fishing here.
Probably a clear of this
Since
fast
that
before
player
anything
in
else.
main and Spike is eventually planted. You can see Navi first
It's
clearing
looking,
out
I don't know,
clearing
it's
out
looking
all
pretty
these little angles
50-50.
behind,
That
but
helps.
Wolfen with the knife just going for a little peek up into heaven.
That's what he needs. Bit of a scramble back with Angel coming in on the backside as well. He's got to work his way through smoke, but it's all about on-site for now. 2 left standing, and the backstab in the smoke, going to find one for himself. Sprays left, but just a few pixels too far to the right. Sees his man and finds what he needs. And they found all the kills they need. Starkzo's left by himself, finds one.
Okay, nicely done from Shao here as well. Shao and Angel both doing it all.
Navi on the back of Angel. Get round number 5.
Twice now, Angel is
Yeah,
able
Shao,
to just
Shao definitely
find
took a bit of a
Cold
risk going in for that
look in the
second
opposite
kill. Holy
direction
hell.
and just tear up the round. That's the late round insurance policy almost, I think, for Koi, that he's just completely disrupting. All of a sudden, angle you thought was completely safe, you're getting pushed on the opposite side, and yeah, the fact that he was even able to get Shados down here, that was a little bit ridiculous.
Boy, Angel just loves looking for these flanks. And we said about them having to watch out for it. You're seeing it now more than Barber.
The thing
Honestly,
is, too,
just please, someone get me a compilation of Barber.
Dude, I would be fine watching that replay after every single round.
Yeah,
Like
I
honestly,
think
they just showed the
there
coach
was even
replay
Angel
after
just,
every
like,
single
looking
round.
for
I'd
the
be so
timing
fine
down
with
ramp,
it.
which was really, really nice.
It had
Now,
no complaints.
defensive pivot. This is the A main
Okay.
wall I was talking
Low
about.
buy
that
for
allows
them
a little bit
with that
more
round.
of a
We do
haste
have the
towards
all
that
interplay. I
side.
kind of like raise all onto
the
the
trip
ecos. I
the
think you
camera
can
up
snowball
in
pretty
heaven,
heavy
I
because obviously
think
you can get a
what
gun
you
from it.
realize often that will mean A is
They
soft,
take
it
a
will mean
lot of
Cypher will be
early
behind it,
mid-control
so that's why they're
fast.
looking
We get
for
another
quick
setup from
defense.
Sugetsu where he's changed it up. This time he's over towards B heaven. Passive wall, smoke behind it, but the wall got broken to kind of create the pressure that they might have timed this. And interestingly, they actually have the they have this wall, but then they have this smoke as well. So
Yeah, well, it's gonna
still
explode
does
real
the
quick
same
here. Oh
thing,
my-
especially
was
does
he
the
able to
switch
scout
around.
down into that with the teleport? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think
boss.
so. Wolfen finds that
Against
kill,
the
and as the
ecos?
Sage Wall breaks, that leaves a real.
Yeah, they really
soft,
wanted to get
because the weakness
information
of
here.
having all your info on one side of the map.
At least there was 2 of them
Like,
wanting to do
Angel
it
just has to
together.
fight that with CNED, and they fall.
Smoke comes out, but it's one on top of it as well. There's going to be a scrappy here inside of Heaven. Koi
Big
find
jolt.
one for themselves, immediately trade
Love
out.
that
All
kill.
comes out on top, and Koi
Yeah,
are
and this
making
is a nice
work.
round from them.
They've
The
got
low
some
buy
4v2
guns
on
to
an
pick
eco
up
here
if they
right
want to
now.
go and
And
get
a
them.
great
That's kind of what
position to
Navi's
be
doing,
back
fighting
into
heavy
heaven.
for these guns, just
Trex playing deep into vents.
trying to do damage control.
Guns really looking like the issue. They haven't managed to pick up any rifles here from members of Navi. They're put in the dirt. So it's going to be still about looking for those closer range firefights. Just got to be careful. They're going to save on it as well, yeah.
I mean, you can't win this. It's planted for heaven. There's an Astra Star on it. You don't have the time or the body.
3,000 on top of all of this. You get some gun upgrades right now.
So little.
This is a disgustingly good start from Koi.
Again, I think this does expose a little bit of
How many guns are they picking up?
in the way Navi
1, 2,
yeah, you have the guaranteed safety of
3.
the Sage Wall for 40 seconds, but
It's
as
incredible.
soon as it goes down, even before then with the Vents pressure, having the Fade and Cypher stacked on the same side of the map, like
Yeah,
they've
they
been doing
kind
most
of
the game,
let them get a
let's go
lot
back
for
right
that. I'm
here.
not gonna lie. That's like the best possible round Koi could have asked for. And their money's just out of control from one round. We'll go from an eco to literally just ridiculous levels.
Navi reacting this one here. Really good eco round coming out from the side of Koi. You got to give it to them as well. We saw this a couple of times yesterday. Actually, in fact, I recall it was Heretics who won a Was it Heretics?
It went both ways. There was quite a few egos
Koi
yesterday.
won a really weird
What?
2v5.
What did you say at the end there?
And the next round completely threw away.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Nothing made any sense yesterday.
It did
was
not.
Sort of how that
But it was a
went.
great series.
The B wall,
That is 100% true.
my
Now,
personal
Koi,
favorite.
really aggressive setup, 4 players
It's
into
very,
the
very
main.
strong
No
when you
reason
play
to
against
say
this.
it's
It's
a
a
little bit
nightmare
harder
because you have to
stall,
kind of
but
jump spot
Angel
this
back
to
here
get
can jump
information.
deep
Every
and
time it
Paranoid
goes
is a
up, it
great
creates a
line,
question mark
but
towards the
you
back
can't
of the
really
site.
scale on
And
past
they
it, although
hit
they
with
managed
this.
to
They
regardless.
missed. Trex missed his pathing a little bit. Nicely done from Angel. Yeah, Trex missed his pathing. He wanted to land on top of this box.
Just like before, even though it's not quite a full buy round, Navi were looking to make this work for the most part. Still into a 4 versus 2. Shade off the left one left standing.
Okay, nicely done.
The economic advantage is
Yeah,
gone.
and honestly, that felt like a bit of a tell.
Don't think are gonna be it.
Definitely felt like a bit of a tell.
I
First time
really
they've
think
done
this
this
is the most
wall, they
insane
insta hit
part
over
about it.
towards B.
The
I
Omen
normally like to
compared
do more
an
of like
Astra,
a
of course,
play
has the
around
which
it,
can be powerful
but
for, like actually getting a kill, but the paranoia just
not-
means that
not too
you're already
bad.
dashing into sight with the rays. Like no one can see anything. There's Sage slow orbs, henceforth slorbs. That's what we call them.
Oh, in the 1v4.
Coming down, just
Their
trapping the
money's
players
low,
that
but
aren't
it
able
looks
to
like he got
sort of
told
dash
off for it
into
there.
sight, everything. Slorbs, slow orbs. No one has time for that. 2 syllables,
That's
too
one of the
much.
Pretty sure he got
ugliest
told off
words
for it at
I've
the end.
ever heard.
Yeah, well, you got the Viper orbs, the Vorbs. The mid orbs, the Morbs.
Wolfen almost being tagged down entirely there, and the spray coming in through the wall. Manages to get away with his life, at least for now. But paint shells are ringing in everywhere. Cena looking to pop his head up as well and try and do some damage. Wolfen was there ready, but Zipan strikes first. Good reaction coming out from Navi.
Still got
It's
we've got a
not
res
stopping
though
Koi,
for
getting a
CNET, so they
bite
kind of
back
have
to the
to
side, 4v4.
make a
Yeah, they're
plan
still
and
completely
battle
stuck
heaven
and
early
kicking out
here
to main.
because
There's
they
the
want to
Cypher
res
cage
this.
Now that smokes have gone down, it's
can't
gonna
just
be
let
real
them
tough
res,
for them to
right?
accomplish much of anything.
I love how Navi just fought so aggressively over it as well there. Like, weren't really looking to concede or give them heaven up and say,
Okay,
oh, yeah,
and it looks like they're using the pressure of the res, knowing that they want to res. Damn, I mean, that was nice. So yeah, there was a lot of good thinking going on here. The call actually made a lot of sense. They wanted to hit over towards B while they're making a plan to get this res off. And they actually had a lurker here to try and do damage on the res anyway if it was smoked off. But CNET honestly got so much on this. This is still a very winnable round. Once he gets to the plant, he's going to get his ult. So this is yeah, one of the ones you would say has got a great chance of it. Not the best gun for it, not the best HP for it, but it's a nice ult in terms of where he could be. Like, look at the avenues.
The fact is, Navi have split up, and that could be a big problem for them.
We've seen that Stinger before as well. And Shadowski's checking in towards Garage here as well, so respect got to be given to the fact that you've got Shao coming up. He's got almost no HP to his name.
Oh, they know where he is now.
Flick on and they know what's going on. As you said, the utility
Got Fade Eye as well that can help.
They've got to find what they need. They've got the
Oh, I mean, he handled this well. Is Sugetsu even going to consider that he's out of it?
Will he see him first? Yes, he will. So
I mean, huge. That is the first kill for Sugetsu, but in terms of impact, pretty big.
You could see he was even aware. He thought, you know, a person could be wrapping around pillar, but would have thought the Cypher would have been closer. It actually ends up being that Navi being so spread out is what caused him to second guess to want to go back into the pit. After those Viper nerfs, you got to get back in the pit real quick, otherwise it falls down, and he didn't want to live in a world with that. So CNED's work up in mid does. Oh, I didn't even notice Trex jumped. The full jumping headshot, okay.
Naughty.
Look, he's just playing inside the Matrix. It's all part of it. And there's your montage you're asking for. The highs and lows, the duality of man.
you out here, Barbar.
Dude,
Yeah,
Barbar
there's
really
bar,
goes through it, man.
know?
He really goes through
There's
it.
one drink and then there's
It's
a few
so
too many.
good.
5-3 then for Navi, and Koi coming in with their timeout here as well. They want to
That
get a
was
bit
all in
more
the
out of
same
this
round
first
as
half,
well,
really.
yeah, that's the thing.
And understandably a little bit of breathing room being sought. That last round, sure, nearly coming back, but so far it's been Navi that have, it feels stonewalled them at most opportunities. They've tried to push their way through. They got away with it for 2 or 3 rounds, and then Navi started slamming that door in their face and not even giving them any map control to play with.
I think one thing I'd like to see from Navi is a little bit more of the solo play, especially activating like a lurk. You know, if they play through mid, look to break down the Sage wall that looks to be coming in, you know, around that 120 mark. CNED really likes that wall for holding their back and then focusing into mains. I think they can put the bulk of their forces up into mid and then get Shados doing a little bit more. He's been playing mostly extremity control as opposed to actually trying to find a timing, which I think might be a little bit of a misstep or a missed opportunity. You don't always have to be looking for the lurk, but so far it hasn't even been
Okay,
conditioned
so
into
they low buy into this.
and especially with all the fighting that's gone on this side.
Whoa, nice shot.
Okay.
I mean, that's not quite the way to do it. You said you wanted to see slow, and they go,
Yeah,
no,
there's the
no,
off
no.
down, and
We're
then
gonna
they just
turn this
insta-hit
off,
the
and you can
site.
see exactly how
The
it's bitten
nade?
them. Paint shells comes raining on through it.
I don't know what it clipped on, but it didn't do too much.
Sarzo into another. Angel now down as well. That's
Wow,
kind of
this
the
one
two
fell
trump
apart
cards
real
of this
fast.
round. Gone for Navi.
I mean, the
Yeah,
fast
and
play
that's
just
kind of the, I
exposes
mean,
how Navi changed their setup.
it's
All
the
of a sudden,
weakness
Sage
of
playing
the
aggro, and Shao finds a kill.
Opposite curse
Sage
this
op.
round. It's not getting any kills, Ender.
What is going on?
Madness.
And it looks like Sugetsu was playing inside of his camera really late, expecting that lurk to come in. But this round, I think, is going to be all about Zipan on that flank. Can he find one? If he gets 2, this round winnable.
Well, he's been spotted out already. They know exactly where he is. He's managed to find one. Can he find the
Ooh,
second? No.
dude, that
Cole
was
little
a
bit
weird
too
peek
good
though.
for
I
it
can't
this
even
time
blame
around.
him for.
And I wonder if Navi once again
Can't even
can
blame him
shot
for not
peel
getting the
back,
second one
save
there
up,
because
and
that,
say, yeah, never
that
mind,
second
and here they
swing
go.
looked
For
so
sure,
weird.
For sure. He
Figured
needed the
this
2
one out.
there. If there were 2, all of a sudden, those players are zooming into sight.
Really
Exits.
wanted the exit, but
Yep.
no, not being given.
Yeah, and really what it comes down to is like the reason the fast hit worked in my eyes is because the Sage was
Why was it
holding
weird?
the
He
top
like
right, so they killed
hesitated
the
like
operator.
midway
That makes
through
it
the
easier to
swing
go
and
into sight.
then fully
the
went
stall
out. It's like a
utility
weird
behind
stutter
it
swing.
isn't quite there. The Omen is out of position to have that gorgeous paranoia. Omen paranoia from heaven doesn't do really anything. That's a really, it doesn't hit everyone. Whereas opposed to back plat or back pillar, it can be really, really effective. So.
Oh, okay, because
Navi
he
need
thought he
go
went back to the
more of
angle.
their
Okay,
default
honestly, it
setup
looked
here
pretty
to
normal from his
avoid these
POV.
fast execs coming into B. Although,
Looks a lot weirder from
surprised to see
Zipan.
another setup like that from Koi. Maybe they just feint it early on this time around, try to scout out
Well,
Angel,
the
who
stutter
has been
swing
playing
was
a little
definitely right.
aggressively over here.
Right, maybe. This time round, at least, Angel in that right position, like you called out.
Is this
Paranoid being
Koi-
able to pass pretty much the entirety of
Is
Garage,
this
as well as
Koi
passing
looking
into one side.
gildish?
Could be big. In comes the util spam as well. Nothing out of him. They don't get
I'm
no
sure.
here. So could do some damage if they're not respecting this.
Wait, does he see him? I think Trek saw the shoulder. Or no, he's spamming the wood box behind him. That's what was going on.
Okay, a lot
Not
of
quite, but it does enough to
lot
force
of
Koi
pressure
back,
done
who,
over towards
despite
here.
letting
A pressure's
their
constantly
utility
up
on
as
the
well
pass
because they're
through.
having the wall smoke.
Disrespect the slow field coming
In
out
terms
the
of it, like
Sage,
Shados
and the
hasn't
Masters
really had to
sat there,
do
not
too
to
much.
push
He's
any
just
further.
straight up just holds his wall here, does it at the
second
beginning,
guessing,
throws
not
his
wanting
smoke,
to
and then
commit
just
all their
listens
bullets
in
into
and
the
just
Sage
shoots occasionally the Xiao
Just the
util.
tap spray, also making sure they can
Xiao util did just go in over
reset if
towards
someone
here,
swings out on top of
and
that one.
he insta-shot it, so they
That
know
look
that there's
has
at
yet
least
to be
pressure
activated,
here.
although there are
Haven't got through
opportunities for
mid,
it on
and
this
it's the
next
first
firewall
time we
cycle.
see this breaking of the
Actually looks like this
line of
dog
sight.
just trying to see if
I
they
think
can
we had a
find something,
boombot
get
behind it.
information on
Boombot's
a
now
rotate
down. They
feint
don't
that
know
did
about
walk up
this,
into heaven,
so there is
pull a
pressure over
rotate, but
towards middle.
this
But
is
as we can
always
see,
gonna
the trip
finish
is
back
here,
into
so that's
the
why I
B
hold
site.
3 people over
If
towards
they wait
B.
too long though, you have options. The Nightfall on the
These
retake
guys would
or even
love
the
to quickly
retake
break
can be
this
pretty
trip,
punishing.
but yeah, they don't know about
I
it.
mean, this side
Trip
of it,
is
nothing has
here,
really
3
changed
person
outside
stack,
itself,
looking
Navi.
not
They've
too
kept
bad
players here
for
that you've seen
Navi.
before. Cosmic Divide coming across is an interesting one actually as well. Locks down some of the bad towards spawn push through. Not that it matters
15
right now, three of
seconds.
them are still sat completely in front of it and ready to challenge as well. Smoke's coming out on top.
Wait,
You've got the
Navi look a little
Viper
bit
volleys
lost
coming down as
though.
well. A lot to try and force
What are
them
they doing?
away, but CNED's already found 2. It's a little bit
Okay,
too late.
it
Make
doesn't
3 and
doesn't matter if you
Zipan
look
gets
lost
two
when
of
you're
his
doing
own.
that.
Navi
3-person
already
group
awaiting
here, I
there,
started
and
getting a
Koi
little bit worried, but
getting a
then
little
they
bit
managed
lost in
to,
the sauce.
I mean, Cena did great on the
Yeah, it's
peaks.
kind of hard, I think, for Koi to look for these split hits.
But yeah,
When
that
it-
I mean,
they're
that
looking like
trip
3-2,
was everything
2-2,
there.
something like
Trip
this.
was so
They
good,
only have
they had the
the
extra
one
man there.
really initiating utility piece in the
So
sky.
That's why you
So
kind of
sent
got a
both duels
default
up in
against.
heaven,
I mean,
weren't
it's
quite up to
honestly
make
why
it work.
like
CNED's
ciphers
position
and
on site was
killjoys are
absolutely
just like
carving 'em up.
one of the better agents, at
And,
least
it
for
was really just Xiao's
most
Nightfall that
maps.
had to be used at the end of the day.
Just this
Navi
extra
sitting
bit of
real nice nice
till.
here.
Just gives you so much information. When you have an agent that gives you 2 bits of information, it's just so nice to not have to worry. You know that your rotate's always going to be good. You can have 3 people in the right place. Especially if you don't default properly.
Even not given a name. Ooh, Trex finding one. Good starting point. Given again, they're down in this round in terms of what they're bringing to the table, but both sides have won an eco out so far. Showing that ability.
Trex has his ult as well.
Quite tactical with what they have on
Spike hasn't done the hardest bit and cross over towards
is
the
not
site
in
yet.
the site.
Yeah.
The team is, but the Spike isn't. They're
Is
gonna have to call in the reinforcements
again, right?
Yeah.
Managed to get away with it this time round. They're still making space up front
Wolfen
as well.
would love to get a kill with the right click. Yeah, 5 HP.
They have to hug the left side as they
Gets
run
a hill.
out there. Finally, it comes up, and they're able to go ahead and get that one down. But Navi can act very quickly on
Nice,
this.
got the
Just
full
3
heal.
players, though, and Trex has the counter ult.
Spike planted.
Momentary delay as they have the extra play catch up there, but now that they're there, everything turns onto Navi's side. Once again, stacking up at least a couple inside of screens, finding one on the push through. Wolf was in a good spot, but this satchel, do they know about still being here?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They tag him out as well. Showstopper comes out on top, expected one on the corner, but no one is there. Starzo on the rotate round backside might find 2, but no, it's a bit of a ring around the roses here on Pillar. One steps across, and there's just one left. It's
And honestly, although Shados has been super quiet this game, like really, but he's playing his role very well. Like he's just making sure that he doesn't die a lot of these. He's just being just a nuisance, honestly. He's just in control of A, but he's doing everything like perfectly well. It's definitely not the flashiest, but he's doing his role.
Curious on your thoughts for this. You're in the last round of the half here. You've got 3 ults to play. Sure, you've got a couple on the other side. You've got the Showstopper available for Trex. You've got Starzo Seekers on. Really, when you're looking at the utility available, you'd favour it towards Koi. Why here, Navi, with the timeout, do you think, in round 12?
Timeout for the last round? Let's see what they got.
Just coming in at the final half here, having some kind of idea, especially because if I was the coach, I might not be super thrilled that we were playing in front of the Cypher utility. 2 versus 5 on that fast A exec, right? You're thinking about it's like, oh,
We normally expect like a 6-6 from a double duelist comp anyway.
Maybe we have the
So if they can get 6, it would be pretty decent.
So maybe changing the idea of how they're holding that A site, taking a little bit more.
Is this Koi team starting to look like what you'd expected? Definitely way better than the season, yeah.
Definitely going to be entering the conversation of Navi.
I think the current roles, even though Shados is maybe flexing a bit more than he has in the past, I guess, I think it looks good. I just like seeing Trex on Raze, to be honest.
Maybe Navi expecting
it just makes a lot of sense.
Could be a read of theirs coming into this one.
Well, similar sort of setup for Navi now.
Just for fun, getting involved before this one starts. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that. 2 more gifted on top 94 altogether. We got Martini Blue and ADB HEHE. Welcome in, bro. Thank you so much for that. Just for fun, appreciate you bringing up to the 94. Thanks, bro. Thanks for the support once again. Get like a soundboard set up for you, just for fun. Just a soundboard of me thanking you. Timing could be pretty good this. Yeah, I think the timing is actually looking pretty good. Zipan. Oh, what?
Almost there you go. Showstopper comes out as well. This train ain't stopping. The fishes are flapping. They're on side to side as well, and no one's here to stop them. I think as soon as they heard Angel's ult, they just thought, okay, new plan here. Push through ropes, hit the other side.
Yeah, they might not feel confident to do a good plant though, so that's the only thing that Navi really have going for them in this one. There is a res, but it looks like they're on top of aiming for it, but honestly it's around the corner. Res, Shados doesn't activate, playing the late lurk, might have owned it, camera goes in, spots him, that's unlucky. Stays alive though, this is what he's been doing, he just buys so much time. Did he still staying alive? Look at this guy go. Dude, I like Shados in this role. I think he's actually owning it. He's a smart player. Okay, nicely done. Again, Shados is... If you looked at the fragging and all of this, you'd be like, damn, Shados had a pretty quiet game, didn't do too much. Man, in terms of like the impact of just him staying alive, buying a lot of time in the important rounds, he was involved in a lot of these.
One from Koi's side. 3 out of the last 4. Bring things back to even. And I really do think just all the time sort of wasted in mid, every player trying to jump out of heaven, that position, bottom rope, just tears them apart.
Just felt like really there's a little bit of time to adapt from Koi, right?
Yeah, 6 against this comp, 6 against the Cypher Sage.
But that last 5-6 rounds, overwhelmingly, Koi
Not
felt like they
bad.
were really the ones in the
See how they look on defense.
They really did. I mean, they looked like in the pistol, too. They were so decisive moving on in there. Now, Navi, been a little while since we've seen them back in Masters, but now they have that
Does
final
Navi
chance
comp
to
not
make
struggle
it
to hitting sights? I
disappointing
mean, every
showing
comp
for them
struggles
on
at
the international stage.
straight
Team
up
that
sight
always has
hits
so
on
much
this
hype
map unless
behind
you're
them.
double duelist.
After maybe a
But
slightly
honestly,
disappointing year
the Sage
as
works
well.
pretty well. You can
Now
definitely
the
always get like
opportunity,
the,
but the
especially
guys
over
who drew
towards
Koi
A, that you
first
can get
here
the
to stay up
elevated,
in the upper
you can get the
bracket. Looking
elevated
at their comp,
like
though,
level,
things get a
and
little
a
bit
lot of time you're going
funky
over the
because,
smoke that they
you know,
normally
are
do
playing just the
for like
solo
this
raise to
area
get
that
on
you
in
just
there.
saw.
In terms of
Also
actual
over towards B, you
enabling
can just have that
utility,
wall that
not
enters
too
the
much,
site.
just really
So
the paranoia.
kind
Maybe if they had some slower
yes
lineups,
and no.
something
Like
this,
double
they
duelist is
get a
obviously the
little bit
best for
more
just straight
creative,
up
but
sight hits, but honestly the
rounds might be a
Sage
little
is
bit
pretty
slower
legit.
than you would
If you
anticipate.
want to
A
be
little bit more
super selfish
play
with it
up
as
mid,
well, it's
whether or
pretty
not they
legit.
can suss out isolated fights before fully committing. In the post plants, if they hold on to a Sage wall, anything like this, they're going to look real strong. Don't get me wrong. That Sage wall, if you can use it to stop one of the chokes for the defense to flood on in, is going to look
People have been
powerful,
pretty
but
critical on
this might be a
Sage
little
on
bit
this map.
harder
Do
for them to
you
navigate this
disagree?
out.
I mean,
You spoke earlier on.
I think
just going back to that point about it being
again, a
really
lot of
disappointing
times,
year for Navi.
if a comp
Can't really
fundamentally
lose
works,
4 or 5 months
we
in
don't
the
need to
game.
think
When I
about
came
it
in,
too
everyone was
much.
saying, really, Fnatic, Navi, top 2, they're the ones to watch.
This comp kind of
For
fundamentally
Navi,
works.
it has
So.
been a bit of a battle. The fact that they're here probably is one side.
I like the Sage on this. I definitely wouldn't have it. I do prefer the double duelist,
but Koi have given them a pretty fair challenge there, I think, to start out the map.
Yeah, they absolutely have.
It's going to be real dire. I mean, ultimately, again, it's not their map pick, but it's still, you know, if you're letting it go all the way through to 3,
Yeah, I mean, look,
could be that chance of casting you down to the lower bracket.
it's the same map pool as last time.
Deadlock on split. It's good on defense, but it's like
this is definitely
it does nothing on attack. Like it literally adds nothing on attack. But when you get into sight, you're probably going to win the round. But you gotta. I mean, it's just the same as protective VIP with Deadlock, basically.
What they're actually playing.
My favorite for
But some of the
champions,
consistents are always there. You've seen it with
Navi,
the operator,
sorry,
whether it's the Jet or
almost
the Sage,
Fnatic,
Angel looking
obviously,
to hunt down early
and
kills.
then I'm probably just gonna
That
go
is
with
the way he likes to play it.
Fnatic
So we'll see
Paper
what
X
they've got for
final.
us on
I'm
attack.
very
4-1
high up on
setup
Paper
for
X
the
with
time
something.
being. Sugetsu looking to maybe lurk on that A side of the map, or just play early containment. He got a forward camera that gets scouted out and broken.
Okay, well that hurts as a jump peak.
Straight away, he knows that there's a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
insta go into this one. CNET has his wall,
I mean, relative to the round with pistols.
and that's the wall we're talking about. And this is double purpose, a little bit selfish as well. Spike is here, so they might miss their timing, and the rotate might come in. So it feels like a bit of a mistake that no one had the spike kicks. They're definitely going to miss their timing a little bit. But it might. I mean, it might create the question. We'll see. When they go for the plant, we have the nade in. They thought it was here.
But
yeah, I mean, they stopped the plant. Still pretty nice.
The smoke into CT means Heaven is going to remain open for a while.
How do they retake this?
Showing a lot of respect towards the utility spam that came flying on through as well, quite smartly so.
They are heavily waiting for Sugetsu, and the fact that they took so long, they're looking over towards spawn now because he could have gone through A. That's so funny.
Flash comes out from that Starzo, burns through both of those in pretty quick time.
So yeah, that's actually...
Wolfen's still holding mid. They're on the site.
Time to react, guys. Expecting a flank, maybe. I mean, we know exactly what Angel can be like, but they've got to worry about the site. They're getting slaughtered where they stand, but Sugetsu, is he pulling this one back here? They've got a bit of a crossfire on the go, but
nice
they've
shot.
got to win it, and Wolfen doesn't lose.
Damn, nice pistol. It came down to 11 HP in the end.
But it's enough to get the job
That
done
was
for Koi.
wild.
So reliable.
Sugetsu did his best.
And again in the pistols, you think back to the first
Yeah, I mean, they hit a lot of
shots
shots with the classics close.
Securing both pistols on split.
Yeah, a double pistol on this.
Way to kick off this second half for them. And it comes after such a delayed round, right? Koi play almost full retake on B. The utility to stall out that plant almost caused some problems for Navi. And then the retake looking very, very crisp from them.
It's beautiful stuff. Koi just looking, although towards the end, threatened by Sugetsu, I'd argue for the most part, very comfortable in the round. Now we get to see how things carried on as they did at the very start of this game going into the second round. It was a very comfortable closeout for Koi as well. Expecting the same here, but again, both teams have lost an eco or two in this game so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 Sheriffs kind of fine to do that with the plant as well, obviously, and we are just taking straight up duels. Angel has walked into B and taken down Cosmenta. That's a smoker down. That's actually huge. Angel doing Angel things. That's a nice reply.
Will find a kill, but you can see Koi putting themselves in positions to just take those fights straight up. Kind of the way you have to play this comp that has so little information. No Cypher, the Sky info not being super reliable outside of the dog. So you'll see a lot of these peaks into mid, a lot of pressure put into the hands of a player like Trex to be winning those fights in mid. Otherwise, your side is just going to get
Yeah, people don't really know
exploded
unless
with
they're in a
split
team,
hits.
Bacon. That's the issue.
All starting to gear their way up for an A as the last two players work
That
their
is
way
the
into
issue.
twos here. Stacking
People
up on
don't know what
four.
it's
Koi
like
still with his
to
2-2
play against the
spread across
Sage
both sides.
on the
This is
southern
a good
maps.
chance for Navi to get what they need. They've got a bit of utility on side.
People
Smoke
just used to
starting
like
come out here as
ranked
well. Horn
walls,
comes through.
etc.
So they can make their entry in towards site here, but they've got to respect Wolfen.
One enemy
Pain.
remaining.
You said about it being the eco as well, and I think the respect being shown by Koi there to give the space and just play for those longer angles. Easy close
Okay,
out
well.
at the end of the day.
I'm really curious how Navi continue to play the rest of this half, because Pistol Round obviously looked like they grouped
Started
up and
off
wanted to go
well.
for
I'll give them
fast
that.
exits, like the Sage Wall just to scale out. But I think their rounds are going to devolve or evolve, however you want to look at it. They're going to change, morph into a little bit more of this slow play, like 1-3-1 setup, where like maybe Angel's looking to scout out over towards B, play a little more aggressive. You're always going to have Sugetsu set outside of A, and you know he's going to be looking to take
Why
some
play
time
Sage
and
when you
adjust
can
those
play
cage
Deadlock?
lineups.
Honestly, they're
One
pretty
blocking off
different.
main, one blocking off ramp.
They're actually pretty
And look
different.
to move on forward, which is actually why Koi are
I know
set
that
up
everyone
with
classed
Sky
them
on this
together,
area
but
map
I think they're
early scouting,
having
early breaking
a
of that
not
camera
really,
that Sugetsu has shown 2, maybe all 3 rounds
not
so
really
far.
the same. I get that they're kind of.
Slow crawl towards mid.
They
Don't be
both
worried about
have a
the
wall
swing
to an
movement coming
extent.
here from the Viper. They're aware of the presence. The Haunt being shot out, I think, was a dead giveaway at the back of that one. Ray's not having the angle because of the smoke. Just taking their time on this one and really trying to figure it out. In fact, smoking in towards Heaven themselves.
Yeah.
So not wanting to play that angle just yet.
Just wanting to threaten that they could cross into vents, you know, if there's any player.
You added an
actually pushed
emote
into
for it?
ramp,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, if you're pushed out ramp,
I haven't.
you have to fall back,
Honestly, the
'cause
mic
you can't
wasn't
just
making
watch
that
main
sound for a
anymore. You
while,
have to worry
so
about getting wrapped
I thought it
behind.
was fixed, but
So
here
it
we
makes it
are.
a lot more difficult to
Okay,
actually
a lot
play
of
Heaven as a
default
solo
is
player.
going on. They take
See,
mid control,
Shadow's
they
just
create the
trying to
question marks
navigate
around the
for
maps.
time
This is
being,
pretty
just
nice so far
taking
from
the risk
Navi.
that no one walks
Koi,
up. Of course, he
playing
has
super
the
passive, but
gentle
why
for
not? Trying to
now,
just
and
bait out
once
a
those
lot of
cages
time
get
with how
popped,
this goes
he's gonna
down.
have to turn his attention over.
We give map
Actually,
control, we
maybe
go for the
Angel has slipped
1-4.
the timing here. If his players in main
Angel's
show
timing, and honestly, once he
the
gets someone on the
Viper turns
radar,
around,
his
he could
flash
get
might be pretty
something.
good here.
Could.
He only has one
Big
smoke
words to
though.
focus on there.
Nice shot.
Wolfen was on the swing, but Cena was there first. Now Shados is looking the wrong way, but he's inside the smoke as well. Sure enough,
There
in he
it
comes,
is.
and there it is. Angel sinking his teeth into the back line, looks for a second, but Starzone. A little bit too on it today.
That's a gun
unfortunately.
down in heaven now for
That was
Codamenta though.
really good lurk timing, though. You can see just working with the team, everything thought through. Now the retake. heading
Again,
towards
oh,
ramps.
that's a nice
Ooh,
nades, bro.
okay.
Yeah,
Now, where previously
pays the
we saw
price for
showers
planting.
there,
This
you
is now
can see
doable.
Cena
This is a good
did not.
crossfire though, with a
They
trip
might be
as well.
Flash Starzo doesn't have anything.
One swing comes through. They're expecting him to push down, but no one's doing it yet.
Oh,
One above
boy.
and just gets pulled into that.
They got nothing between them.
2 more kills for Koi.
It's good pause.
Starts
It's
to feel like
doable.
this one might be slowly starting to slip away if Navi aren't too careful. Not forgetting, this is their full gun round.
Ooh.
Zipan, you can find one.
Yeah, they just did
Simply not enough.
just
Two
did
left
little
standing
jiggle
for Koi.
peeks on
Up
him
they
that
go,
one.
9
Nicely
and
done.
6.
Nicely handled.
I love rounds of Valorant like this. They get a
Wait,
little
they
bit drawn
win-
out.
they win
Everyone's
the
looking for timing
bonus?
from
They're-
Angel,
man.
making that timing on the lurk happen.
They're
so
on
he
for
could get
this.
his one. To then having no flash to re-clear ramp. Koi having to get a little creative, using the satchels to play that element of verticality and Goomba stomp down on the opposition. That was very nicely done. Actually just tracking and being able to see over the smoke. Spotted out that Cypher.
And now Wolfen's on the op.
Oh yeah.
It's not quite a bulldog no more. Man's leveled up. And if he's posting himself out towards where? B here, trying to play
Yeah.
backside, they'll be doing some damage.
And this is why even like people look at double dual
Okay,
scopes,
op
I'm
comes
like, yeah,
out
they're good
on
attack.
defense.
But doing this as opposed to just the raise means you get a reliable
Flash
op. You get
goes
the
out as well. So
second
this
best
is a big
op.
round, right? We're gonna look at the money here.
Situation,
Everyone,
Chamber and
no
Jet
one's got over
do it very
250.
nicely. But then also all that stall power
Money's
that
low
gets
here,
you
but
on the opposite side of the map.
they can probably
Navi
squeeze
have to get past
something
that with
relatively decent into the next
Paranoia,
round.
with prowlers to scout
So
out
yeah,
that
Navi
op,
kind of
that's
have to
gonna
win
be
this,
tough.
else I feel like this map's
Round
gone.
4 op, ooh. Well, here we go, ready to swing onto Soigetsu here. As though he's being bullied inside of his own spawn. It's looking rough. Oh, but finds
shot.
one.
Managed to
Tries
get
look for the
one.
second, but Trex gets him
Dog
with the
goes in
base
while
shots.
this is going on to check over towards middle. They walk, contact
Won't be
heaven.
good enough. It's just
Honestly, these
Shados
two can't
that
combo,
usually
so
set
this
up
could be
over
pretty
towards
good.
A, so if it turns into a B hit, it doesn't really matter too much.
Like, what does he do?
See if they can isolate
Ooh,
the
nice
off,
shot.
though, they can't.
It is.
And he gets out.
I mean,
Damn.
straight out of there. Zipan was looking for blood, looking for vengeance.
Look at this
That's
discipline.
the trouble. You just got to contact into every site. Wolfen is going to be a constant
Takes
problem
down the
for them.
smoker as well, so
Forcing
he can
them to plant
constantly have
safe here
vision.
too. Can't really hold for main, and can't hold for main when Trex is just eyeing you down. Here comes the party,
Nah,
baby.
this team
Trex
looks
is killing
good,
everybody.
man. They're actually, this is actually legit. Nice round from Trex. He's did great on this. I still want to shout out Wolfen. I felt like that was nice from him. I've seen the most improvement from a lot of his decisions as well, and that was one of them.
Right?
That was so nice. Dude, just for fun again, you're up to 99, bro. You hit 99 just for fun. 5 more gifted. Of course, we've got Dragons, Love Pie, BC, SPAZ shot, Basti 22020, and Mr. Fluffus and Shax. Welcome into the Slug Club. You heard your name, make sure you say thank you. Just for fun, once again, up to 99, dude. Appreciate your support. Thank you for the last few days, man.
The best bet is going to be Sugetsu trying to play around to his smokes, find lurk timings into A while they slowly move into mid. It is not going to be simple though, that's for sure from Navi's side.
And it'd be lovely to be able to look at the...
Yeah, and they have to eco on this one, so it's like...
2 or 3 pips away from having 3 more ults online,
you can have a plan into this eco, and then you gotta think ahead for the big buy round, and at that point it's 6-11, unless you can win this eco.
Sure, they've got the Showstopper, they've got the Nightfall, but they need both of those online, and they've got to try and match up against what keeps them coming in from the other side, which really is Wolfen with his own ultimate and an op on side.
Yeah, she's actually at every event, Bacon. It's insane, isn't it?
For 1 round, but how can they turn this into 2, 3, or 4 to not let this game run away?
Yeah, it is starting to add up here. Look, Zipan and Xiao
Daniel TV with the Prime.
Just one off,
thank you very much. 7 months as well.
Sheriff's light armor. I think that ends up being the call for them. So quite likely moving into 11.
Who do I think is the second best team in EMEA right now? I think it's Liquid, so pretty confident with that take. Until we see something else from another team.
They can look to attempt to trade out the jet. That teleport not being perfect, but they also have to just commit so many smokes, I think, to take space around an area like mid. Koi are getting aggro. Oh my god!
I love it. Absolutely love that.
It's bold. Bold on an eco, but it was bold, but at the same time it wasn't too bold, right? It's a push. They're playing off their normal tendencies, and it's that same thing where Navi obviously are doing their own attack timeout, and then the defense goes aggro. It is like the absolute classic. That's where I see it, like over 50% these days. But even though it kind of felt bold that they were pushing against an eco, they didn't really cross this line, so it wasn't too crazy. Like they were always able to get out to safety once taking the jewels with the flash, or at least getting info with the flash. So I like this, to be honest. I'm normally not a fan of aggression against ecos, but this was like, it wasn't risky at all.
Has options to really punish. Sugetsu has played that lurk so many times. You know when a player is jump peeking back pillar there,
dude,
you
2 more.
Quickly scoot out between their jumps so you can try to aim for the head.
You're insane.
Around the corner.
Just for fun. 778. I'm gonna get literally a soundboard. It's gonna save me time.
Everyone was at the start of the round and Jet was pushing mid. Now Jet's pushing A.
2 more, bringing you up to 101 gifted. Malware and Lucan 3. Welcome into the Slug Club. Thank you so much once again, just for fun. 101 in 2 days. That's so
Koi just get to decide the rules. You know, like why is a foot 12 inches? I don't know. Some dude's foot. Koi's foot is 5 in. I don't know. We're in the sauce. We're back in it. All right.
New Oiler, yeah, pretty much. Insane. Okay, right, here we go. The buy rounds where they have to do it all. They have I mean, sure, you got some options right here. The one away from this as well if they want to get an orb. It is doable. Wolfen feels like any pick that he gets here is massive in terms of the ults, especially if it's on CNED and they don't have a chance to res.
There's nothing truly to force him off the
Might actually be on CNED. Is he walking into this?
As an option. By him holding forward, they can do something about it, but if they walk into it, oh no.
Jesus. I've seen that a few times, really. B is the curse site for
with the res.
A lot of missed shots coming down on that side of the map. A has been much more successful.
The crazy thing is, too, if CNED goes down, he's the one with the res, right? He can't bring himself back up, so him having res allows the 1-4.
Oh, this was a nice throw from Navi. Unlucky from Trex. Good chance to try avoid that. Wait, Codamenta got 2? Well, that's unlucky. This guy's tanking.
Gordon Ramsay would be disappointed. 3 on the back of site here, pushing their way forwards. All the ults starting to get rolled out here by Navi. The red carpet is there.
Shados hasn't had one of his rounds yet. Damn, there it is. Dude, he's been great. He's been great. Quietly, consistently great. Really nicely done from Shados. Dude, this has been really dominant. It really has. Just for fun, 10 more, of course. I hadn't mentioned your name for a minute, so I felt like something was wrong. Just for fun, with coming in with 10 gifted. Thank you so much, bro. 111 altogether. Again, appreciate the support so much. We've got Jump the Gun 123, Rory, Nev, Vins, Zestwi, Haniji. Hold up. Let me do this. Let me do this. 6 chances. Just want to quickly see how this one's going to potentially end. The money, not bad. They managed to actually squeeze out a pretty good buy here. CNED, maybe there's a gap in that he saw him. It's a heavy over-rotate by Koi, but honestly, why not at this point?
They gotta wait out this cycle, and when the cycle comes down, guess what? That B operator rotated over.
Why are Navi so against using the double duelist? Every time I'm seeing like Trex and Wolfen pop off, I'm just like, dude, this could be CNED and Zipan. Not that I hate the Sage on this, and I don't think like this comp makes sense fundamentally. It's more just like, man, give this guy Jet. Give these two what they want. That's what I want to see. One day. One day.
Do you split up? Are you kidding me?
Well, the push down. It's not the best way to end this for them. He's so good, man. The second back up there as well. That was actually very, very impressive from Koi. That was really one-sided. I felt like they played great. I was really impressed with this, to be honest. Looking much improved. Who else do we have? We've got 5-way there. So just for fun, we got 5-way out of the 10 with, no, did I lose all the names? Yeah, I lost all the names, not gonna lie to you. There were 5 more people on the list. Welcome in, whoever you are. Lost you. But I appreciate you, just for fun. Thank you for doing that, mate.
Starting to get nervous.
Look,
Koi can do this.
I'll say I just think that attacking half was so hard to play.
A little bit worried for Navi now. Lotus next. All right.